r/rules horror. Posted by u/Eureka5. How to survive secret metro stations. You had nothing left to do in life, nothing to lose. With one of your remaining friends telling you the rumors about secret metro stations, you decide to take the risk. You start searching for people that know about these stations. Just before you lose hope, you find someone on the internet that knows about the stations. You meet in real life with him and he gives you a set of rules and a place to start. You start going through the labyrinth-like corridors of the abandoned building. You finally find the small air vent that you were told to go through to reach the station. After a couple of attempts at fitting through the vent, you finally reach your destination. You close the door behind you and as your footsteps echo through the station, you realize how big it actually is. After you find something to sit on, you start rereading the crumpled paper that you were given. Have you ever wondered how governments and big corporations do transportation? Yes, they do in fact use cargo trains and things like that. But what about transporting more secretive, or equally dangerous, things? For these situations, secret metro stations had to be built deep underground. If you are reading this, then you will probably attempt to discover one of these metro stations. These kinds of buildings usually aren't safe for average human beings. But still, as long as you obey these rules, you should be fine. Some of these stations may have some extra rules, but these general rules are present in almost every single one of them. You should be fine for %98 of the time. General rules. Don't forget to prepare well before your trip. This rule usually gets forgotten among other rules, but please, prepare well before trying to do things like this. Get enough food that will last you for at least 2 to 3 days. Get some kind of gun, clothes, an analog watch, will be important later, and a device with an internet connection. Let your relatives know that you will be leaving for at least 1 day, and tell them to never communicate with anyone that claims to be you before the 1-day mark. I also recommend memorizing the rules. Station rules. Be sure that lights are on before you enter the station. This is a pretty important rule. If the lights aren't on, delay your journey to a few days later. They can't attack you in the light, but they can in darkness. Only use the vending machines if you are starving. And I mean actually starving. Those things haven't been replaced for years and the last thing you want on this journey is to get sick. Ignore the voices that you may hear deep inside the tunnel. Never, and I mean never leave the metro station or the metro. You are the only human on this station. If you hear them, that means that they are trying to lure you in. Don't let them win. They are good at mimicking. Go on this adventure alone. Even though you can technically do it with a group or a friend, you will be much safer when alone. It's really hard to identify mimics, and if they gain your trust once, you will doom yourself and your relatives. Never get comfortable. As you probably guessed, mimics are pretty intelligent. They will wait for every opportunity to trap you inside. Never let your guard down. Don't get distracted. Check your back every now and then. I also recommend trying to not read this note while in the station for long amounts of time as it can get you distracted. That's why I asked you to memorize the rules. After some time, a metro will come. Never ever enter a metro before checking for the following rules, as you don't want to get in a metro that isn't yours. 1. Check the look of the metro. The metro should be safe as long as it's not black. If it's black, leave the station as soon as possible. I also don't recommend entering another metro station for the rest of your life, as the black metro will be waiting there. 2. Check the driver. If the driver looks like a human, don't enter the metro. It's a mimic trying to lure you in. As long as you have obeyed the rules, the mimic shouldn't be able to exit the metro. Wait for another metro to come. If the driver is a black figure, then it's safe to enter. Enter the second wagon and move to the metro rules. 3. Check for any passengers. If there are any passengers in the metro, it doesn't matter if it's a mimic or not, get out of the metro station as fast as possible. I can't guarantee your safety if they see you for even a mere second. You should not be seen. You hear a clicking sound from your right. You can't locate the source of it. Metro rules. Check the time that you have entered the metro. I don't know if this also counts as a rule, but please check the time that you have entered the metro. Never forget it before exiting the metro. The reason I wanted you to bring an analog watch is that digital devices don't show the real time. If you have forgotten to bring an analog watch and the doors of the metro are closed, you are trapped. Never lose track of time. Never lose track of time. This may be the most important rule on this list. Check your watch at regular intervals, do anything to not lose your track of time. If you have lost the track of time, I don't know what will happen to you. but I can tell it is far worse than anything those mimics will do to you. Check if 2 hours have passed. If the metro stops at a station before the 2 hours have passed, don't leave unless something enters the metro. If something does enter the metro, read exception 1. After 2 hours have passed, the metro should not stop until your destination and you should be safe station-wise. If it does stop, read exception 2. Check the windows. If you start seeing figures with bright white eyes outside the window, never make eye contact. If you don't want to be blind, of course. As long as you don't make eye contact, you should be safe inside the metro. If you feel like something is wrong, then it is. If you get the sudden urge that something is wrong, then it is. Break the windows of the metro and jump out. This is the only way to get out. After that, run until you reach your destination without stopping. Don't worry about mimics, they are targeting the metro and it will take them a long time to figure out you escaped. Exceptions. Exception 1. If this situation happens, you will probably face your fate, but still try your chances. Get out of the metro and try to escape from the station. It's impossible to predict which station it is, so I can't guarantee your safety. Exception 2. If this situation happens, it means that you have been noticed. This is the reason I wanted you to bring a device with an internet connection, as nobody still knows what happens after this. If you get out alive, please notify me about what you got through. After 5 to 10 hours have passed, and you haven't broken any rules of course, you should reach your destination. Don't leave anything on the metro, as you don't want to be known. Nobody knows what awaits you on the other side, so good luck. As you finish reading the paper, you realize a metro is coming. But something feels terribly wrong. The driver has a huge grin. You don't really think about it that much until the driver starts opening the door. You try to escape from the station, but the door is locked. You got distracted. You got trapped.